It's so great to be with you today. My name is Greg. I'm one of the pastors at Adventure Church in Yuba City. We planted our church 14 years ago, and we've been humbled to see all the amazing ways that God has worked in our midst. But if you're like me, you've gone through seasons of life when things did not go exactly according to plan, and you found yourself asking the question, how did I get here? Sometimes it's relationships, finances, kids, all kinds of areas of our life. As we turn to the scriptures, probably one of my favorite people in the Bible is the disciple Peter. And as you think about the disciples and all that they experienced, think about it. They walked with Jesus, they heard Jesus, they saw the miracles of Jesus, they were empowered to do miracles themselves, and then Jesus is killed and he's buried. And this is not the way they thought it was going to go at all. They locked themselves away in fear, and they begin asking themselves those questions. This is not the way it was supposed to go. Fortunately, we know the end of the story. 3 days later, he comes back from the dead. He's alive. He appears to them. And God is going to do this incredible movement in the book of Acts that continues to this day, led by Peter. But before he can do that, Jesus has to take care of some business with him on the shores of the Sea of Galilee in John chapter number 21. And we want to look at that encounter today. A very simple message for you today as you consider your walk with the Lord, especially when things aren't going the way you think they should be going. 3 simple words: just keep going. Just keep going. We stay encouraged when we embrace the presence of Jesus, even when he seems hidden. In verse 4, it reads, "Just as day was breaking, Jesus stood on the shore, yet the disciples did not know that it was Jesus." Jesus was there. He's alive. He's resurrected. He's on the shore, but they did not recognize that it was him. The truth is there are seasons of life that we don't see him as well as maybe at other times, and the enemy can use those times to distract us, to discourage us, but our feelings can deceive us. Our hearts can be a liar, and the devil can use those moments to echo those words that he uttered in the Garden of Eden. Did God really say? So I want you to lean into this truth. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. Just keep going. Next, we stay encouraged when we embrace the voice of Jesus, even when the world gets loud. In verse 7, it says, "The disciple whom Jesus loved therefore said to Peter, 'It is the Lord.' When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he was stripped for work, and threw himself into the sea." John recognized the voice of Jesus. He shouts it out to Peter. Peter hears it, and he jumps into the water. It is game on. He wants to get to Jesus as quickly as he possibly can. And let's face it, this world can get loud. Politics, social media, conflict, confusion, anger. And we may never be able to silence those voices, but we can be sure that the voice of Jesus is the loudest voice that we hear. It's why we keep coming back to this book, right? Time and again, because we want our hearts and our souls and our minds filled with his voice, with his words. So lean into this truth. My sheep hear my voice and they follow me. John 10:27. Just keep going. Third, we stay encouraged when we embrace the love of Jesus, even when you failed. They sit down, they have breakfast, and they have this probing conversation. Jesus 3 times, "Do you love me?" Peter 3 times, "Yes, I love you." "Feed my lambs, tend my sheep, feed my sheep." The heart of the matter was love. There's no way to sugarcoat Peter's failure. He blew it, and so can we. But the key to his restoration and the key to our restoration is love. It's not performance, it's love. And so lean into that truth. If you can't get to that fresh start, nothing can separate you from the love of God. Romans 8:39. Just keep going. Finally, we stay encouraged when we embrace the call of Jesus, even when you get distracted. I love this beautiful moment. Jesus, Peter, shore of the Sea of Galilee. You can hear the orchestral soundtrack playing in the background. It's this beautiful, amazing moment. And then Peter goes full Peter in verses 21 and 22. He's like, well, what about him? He looks to John. What about him? And Jesus, I always imagine with a face palm or a long sigh, he says, if it is my will that he remain until I come, what is that to you? You follow me. It's so easy to get distracted. Does anybody have one of these? What about him? What about her? What about their family? What about their finances? What about their gifts or talents or abilities? We get focused on all these other things. Friends, embrace God's call on your life. Remember this truth. I know the plans I have for you. Jeremiah 29:11. Just keep going. 5 months before we planted our church in Yuba City, I was attending the Thrive Conference here at Bayside. And I had just resigned from the church I was pastoring in upstate New York. I was over in the main building. I was sitting in the worship center where there were bleachers at the time. It was May of 2011. I was toast. I was so discouraged. It was the lowest place in my life, life-wise, ministry-wise. And that was the year that Luis Palau came out on stage and announced that he was going to be doing a crusade in Sacramento the following summer. And I don't remember a lot of what was said that day, but I'll never forget this. He looked out into the crowd and he said these words: someone out there is discouraged, someone out there is thinking about quitting, just keep going. And I'm telling you, it was like just me and Luis and the Holy Spirit were in that room. I went out to the parking lot after that session. I wept. And 5 months later, we planted our church in Yuba City. And that next summer, our new church attended that crusade in Sacramento. Stay encouraged, friends. Embrace the presence of Jesus even when he seems hidden. Embrace the voice of Jesus even when the world gets loud. Embrace the love of Jesus even when you failed. And embrace the call of Jesus even when you get distracted. Martin Luther King Jr. said it this way: if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. I don't know where you are today, what you might be discouraged by, but remember this: God was not finished with Peter. God is not finished with you. Just keep going. God bless.